Hi, Shannon Waller here, and welcome to this episode of the Team Success Podcast. Today's episode is called The Power of Passion. It is something that I am very, very passionate about and very enthusiastic about, and that's exactly what we're going to capture today. One of the things that I find very few people are tied into or really conscious of is how important passion is to what they're doing and how important it is to share enthusiasm for what they're doing. We talk about business, we've got teams, we've got cash flow, and we've got clients, and we've got our backstage systems like finance and operations. All of this stuff is going on. And it's very heady. It's very intellectual. For a lot of people, business is very much a head game. However, if you want to have a really motivated team, if you yourself want to be really motivated, if you want to feel passionate about what you do every single day, guess what? Business can not only be a head game, it also has to be a heart game. You may be saying to yourself, well, Shannon, of course I'm passionate. That's really obvious. And I'm going to repeat back to you and have you ask yourself a question that a colleague of mine says, and that is, have you told your face? You may think it's really obvious, but guess what? To other people, it may not be. We tend to be very internal about these types of conversations. So tell your face, communicate it, be enthusiastic with how you talk and how you move and your facial expressions and your voice. That's what really gets across to people. And that's kind of what I want to say today, is that when I am working with people who are passionate about what they're doing, I get excited with them. Passion is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. And I am much more likely to buy into that idea, to taking a risk myself, to working with them, to allocating my time and my creativity and my resources if I know the other person is passionate. If they're not, my buy-in is automatically at a much, much lower level. And it's kind of interesting because we all have a lot of things coming across our plate in the form of opportunities and ways that we could spend our time and resources. And how do we choose? Well, something can look really, really good on paper. Sure, if we do this deal, we'll make tons of money, we'll have tons of whatever other list of good things is in your mind. But does it actually engage you? Do you get excited about it? Will it make a difference? Does it align with what your purpose is? Those are the projects, truthfully, the ones that we really care about, those are the ones that work. So bringing passion to things is really key. And I want to suggest to you that it may be one of those understated capabilities and talents and ways of expressing yourself that you may not be appreciating. Now, I know people who are very, very enthusiastic about what they do for a living, and I have to tell you, they attract the coolest people. They attract a ton of resources. They could be commercials for the law of attraction. These folks, things just seem to come into their path that works. And I think that kind of makes some sense. They're very intentional and their heart is involved. I'm always focused on people. How do we bring the best people together? How do we engage them? What ties us all together? And my answer to that really is passion. If we don't all care about the same thing, if we don't bring ourselves to that, then why bother? There's a million other things we could be doing that intellectually are interesting, but they also have to emotionally connect with us. So that's what I'm talking about. And it's interesting because I'm someone, as you can probably tell, is fairly enthusiastic about things, fairly passionate about things. And I'm always coaching people, including my children, to do things with a whole heart. It's like, if you can't do it wholeheartedly, don't do it. First of all, it's really annoying to be with someone who's only doing something half-heartedly. You know this. I don't like myself when I do things half-heartedly. So either be all in or out. No middle ground here. No way of expressing this. And I appreciate other people who show up the same way. I also coach a number of our clients on the phone. And one of my clients, I was joking around with him this morning, and he said, Shannon, you just bring so much enthusiasm to what it is that you do. And I was celebrating one of his insights and some of his achievements. And I was more enthusiastic about it than he was, to the point where he was laughing. He was like, yeah, this is a big deal. And I realized part of what I do with people is I help highlight those things that they do so well and are so capable about, because they're not stopping to celebrate that themselves. So when you share your enthusiasm about something, when you see something going right and you celebrate it and you bring awareness to it and you bring enthusiasm, if you get a little cupcake, put a candle in it and sing for it, whatever it is. It can be goofy, it can be serious. But if you bring that, you actually help to really raise the level of awareness, even consciousness, if you want to put it in those terms, to what is working, to what's important, to what is deserving of really what's made progress, what's useful, what can we do again, what can we replicate. If we don't share our enthusiasm, those insights and lessons can be lost. It's one of those things that really people don't pay attention to those things if they're not celebrated. And I know for me, when I'm in my own head, I have my own things that I'm focused on, and I may do something well and I'm on to the next thing. But when someone else points it out, especially enthusiastically, someone did that this morning for me, actually, I was like, oh, wow, thank you so much for letting me know that that made a difference to you. I will do more of it. That's how I'm built. And I really appreciate that. So if we want to attract more of what we want in the world that really works, then we need to display our enthusiasm. We need to share our passion for things is really my point. So you'll attract phenomenal people. You'll attract great resources. Again, enthusiasm is contagious. If you have ever read the book, The Alchemist, which I had not until this year, it was recommended to me by two very, very close friends and people I respect. And I thought, okay, I'll read this. Somehow I'd missed, in my whole lifetime, I missed it. It's by an author named Paulo Coelho. And he has a great story that he tells. The whole thing is a bit of a parable, but it has so many essential principles for life. And one of them is actually enthusiasm. He talks about there was a language in the world that everyone understood. It was the language of enthusiasm, of things accomplished with love and purpose, and as a part of a search for something believed in and desired. Now, obviously, he's far more poetic than I am, but I love this because it is one of the languages of the world. And you probably do this completely unconsciously right now. But again, I want to raise it to the level of awareness so that you can consciously share your enthusiasm. Now, for those of you who are more introverted than extroverted, I don't want you to have to step completely outside of yourself and be somebody you're not. You do not need to go and rent a clown suit and do some kind of a party trick. But quiet enthusiasm is just as powerful as loud, noisy enthusiasm. But let your eyes light up. Let people see that. Let people share that. Feel it yourself so that other people can pick that up from you. That's what I'm talking about. And I actually look for when people's eyes light up. I can tell when someone is really bought into an idea, and I watch their eyes. I look for those things where they seem to be lit from within, and that's what I want to see more of, and that's the direction I encourage people to go in. We have so many choices. We have an abundance of choices, and knowing which direction to go in, which path to choose is very hard. And to my mind, one of the criteria after you've analyzed it and done your intellectual stuff is to say, okay, what connects best with my passion? Where can I get excited? Where is there some enthusiasm? Where is there momentum? Where are other people also really passionate about this idea? So in terms of team success, I just know that enthusiasm and passion is one of those understated, one of those things that people are unaware of, factors that makes a massive difference to people feeling really engaged, people being really committed, people feeling a sense of resilience and sticking it out when things are tough. If you're not passionate about something and the going gets tough, you're out. You're done. See ya. Blow this popsicle stand. But if you're passionate about it, you will find a way. Passionate people are resourceful. They'll figure it out. Why? Because they really, really, really want that result. They really want to make that vision come true. Without passion, it's just a little placard. It's just a little piece of writing on a piece of paper somewhere. So passion really is the ignition. It is the thing that lights people on fire. And I know you're on fire about a couple of things, so please share that with other people and look for other people who have that fire too and who are aligned in that same direction as you. I know for me, the partnership with Strategic Coach is because we are passionate about the same things. We love doing things the same way. We all, Dan and Babs and myself and our team, all have very powerful contributions to make towards increasing the freedom and impact of entrepreneurs. And so I love working with people with that similar passion. I know that wherever the journey takes us, we are all here for exactly the same reasons, and I trust that. That brings out the absolute best in people. It brings the best teamwork, and obviously it brings out the best results. So I hope you're inspired to bring out and share your own passion and enthusiasm. You may have to find it. You may have to unlock it. And please make sure that there are systems in place that are not squishing, that's a technical term, squishing people's passion, because people do have it factory installed, but it gets covered up. So keep finding ways to unleash people's passion, and you'll have a force of nature at your disposal to help you accomplish what you want. I hope this episode has inspired you. It's been very fun to talk about. Thanks for listening. I hope you're feeling passionate. And as always, here's to your team success.